Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Realm Recap. I am Jason from Yakface.com, joined again by Fly Guy from flyguy.net.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Hello, sir. We are going to kick things off today. Basically, there was a few bits of news that dropped this week. Not a whole lot Hasbro related. We'll get to it. I think probably the main thing was really the reemergence of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Boba Fett and Han and Carbonite set.
It was very unexpected.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I have a theory about where this stock came from, but nothing is official yet. So we'll get to it. But
cool.
We'll see. Starting off,
Saga Legends.
Saga Legends. Obviously, nothing has turned up here yet in the U.S. or anywhere else, for that matter, as far as as far as I've found. But Rebel Scum earlier this week had posted their full kind of in-depth review and gallery for the next 4 figures in the Saga Legends line, and just a little bit of history here. Dave Myatt, who operates the photo archive for Rebel Scum, he lives in Canada, so that's where these have apparently shown up. So.
Nice comparison there of all the Obi-Wans.
Right. So in this wave of figures, there's a Obi-Wan with Clone Wars armor. There's a Jedi Luke.
It's a nice looking look, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. I
bit googly-eyed, but
yeah, the sample's a little bit robot chicken for me. It does. It looks like he has little paper eyes pasted over his face there.
Yeah, it does actually.
But what else is in that wave? The
Darth
Maul, right? Who looks very 1999. If you didn't know any better, you would say this is right from the episode 1 launch.
Yeah. It's not a bad figure though.
No, it's decent.
Pretty detailed, yeah.
And then there's the Snow Trooper, which I think a lot of people are going to be looking for.
Yes, very much so.
Again, all of these figures are 5 POA, but they're
good
pretty
looking.
Decent. I think I'm a fan of these. I think Dave is more of a fan than I am, judging by some of his praises of the characters themselves. I mean, I think he said this was the best Sand Trooper or Snow Trooper that has ever come out, and I think he said the same thing for the Jedi Luke. I won't go that far. But they're still decent figures. For $6. Granted, we got better figures for $6 a few years ago, but
yeah, it's just showing it again there. It's it's not the best Snow Trooper ever. You can look at the paint there. It's a little splodgy and
around the eyes.
Is it even 5 POA? Is it maybe even just 4 POA? I don't look as if the head moves.
The Snow Trooper probably is 4, just the arms and legs, because it doesn't have waist and there's obviously no neck. So it's basically like the vintage Kenner figure.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I think I still prefer the vintage Kenner one, really.
Yeah, it had the visor, at least you could take off.
Exactly. So,
but no removable backpack. So I think it's
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird why they've turned up there of all places. It's just kind of bizarre.
Yeah, I think they're shipping. I think orders are being fulfilled in June for this wave, or in the U.S. at least. I'm not sure about other locations. I think both the Saga Legends and the Mission series are both going to be released in June.
Frankly, who knows what Hasbro in the last couple of years? It's just been the whole, on the Marvel side, just talking to some people at the weekend, I got hold of some recently, and that whole fiasco of Marvel Legends and when they shipped, and then we've had Black Series this year and up and down and when they'd be available. Some people still haven't seen some of them, so Hasbro distribution is just random. It's so
Yeah,
random. It's crazy. Never mind.
and
Good figures though.
yeah,
For 5 POA, they're not bad. If you want them, then yeah, they're
they're
not
solid.
bad.
Yeah. Um, in a similar vein, the mission series, again, those haven't shown up anywhere as far as I know. Um,
Mm.
I think the most recent wave is to include like the Vader with the Bespin Luke. There's
Hmm.
an Obi-Wan with a General Grievous, and then there's what else? Is that really it for
Uh,
the next?
I can't remember. It wasn't that exciting from
Yeah,
memory. Let me have a little look here. I've got a page open here with some other stuff for the Saga Legends. I think I remember
yeah.
seeing.
I think those were the only two real new ones in the next cases with
Yoda
it.
and Palpatine. Yoda
Oh,
and
that's right.
Palpatine.
Yep. I haven't seen those pop up yet, but
No.
the infamous tunghori on eBay has posted some loose figures available. Some of which are the Grievous and the Bespin Luke. The Obi-Wan is essentially it's a repack of the regular Saga Legends figure, and same with the Darth Vader. I think that's a
Hmm.
repack as well. So if you're hot for those figures and you don't want to wait for the other ones for the Mission Series 2 packs to come out at retail, you could order these as singles.
Again, just bear in mind, like, if you've ever bought from these sites, sometimes, not very often, they are pretty good. The paint quality can be,
Right.
I think they're kind of seconds in some ways, or I don't know what they are. But
Yeah.
they still look pretty good. That looks a very good figure.
hmm
Um,
And we received a Bespin Luke similar to this in the
that's
Darth
right.
Maul battle pack line.
That's
It
right.
was packed with
With
the
the good
Darth
Boba
Vader
Fett, I think, wasn't it?
and a Boba Fett, yeah. And this is a different sculpt than that. So
Yeah,
for you OCD collectors out there and
the
completists and
new version.
completionists, you'll still want to get this one.
That's surprising why they didn't use that mold again, because that was a pretty well received look in that pack. It
Yep,
was,
yep. The
yeah.
Vader and the Boba Fett too. Those when they relaunched the Saga Legends figures in
Mm,
2013, those were all new sculpts.
they
They
sold
didn't
out well.
rehash those battle pack versions, even though they were 5 POA. So strange decision, but
It is. It is very strange why they keep saying it's costing money and then
right,
make a brand new one.
right.
It's kind of nuts. But
Um, so with that, that kind of leads
sometimes
us into the more attractive or substantial news this week from Hasbro. Um, Big Bad Toy
so
Store,
your theory, as you mentioned earlier on, and we're sharing on screen.
right? Big Bad Toy Store, they put up some pre-orders, which have since sold out. I think they sold out on Wednesday, but I think they put them up Tuesday or Wednesday. Pre-orders for the San Diego Comic-Con Boba Fett and Han and Carbonite set. That was it's the 6-inch versions
Mhm.
of those figures. Um, I'm not sure if everyone knows, but there are a couple different versions of these sets that have gone out. One was exclusive at obviously San Diego Comic Con. There was another
That's right.
exclusive at Celebration Europe. I'm not sure exactly if the packaging was different as far as maybe some trilingual
No,
um, labeling or
this was
anything.
that was not a thing. But
Nothing different. But
no.
there was a Japanese version available,
Oh my
and
God.
that had a small sticker placed on the front of there's the cardboard wrap that wraps
That's
around
right.
the box. There was a small Japanese sticker that was on the front, and I think the the warning label was covered up with a black sticker as well on that set. And then on the reverse side, there was a sticker that was just all of the Japanese language version, text for the back.
Hmm.
Um, I think that's what these are. Um, I emailed and um, contacted Big Bad Toy Store via Twitter and asked them which versions were these because I know they have sold the Japanese version before and they were unsure of the stock they had picked up. That leads me
Kind
to
of
believe
dropped
that.
off a little bit there.
Oh, sorry. Um, I had emailed Big Bad Toy Store
Yep.
and I asked them if these were the Japanese versions, and they weren't sure what the stock was that they had picked up. So I assume they don't even have these in hand yet. They had just
Had a quantity and
quantity
gone.
and filled a select number of pre-orders that they had. My guess is they picked these up from overseas, and I think these are going to be the Japanese versions. It's just a packaging variant. There's no difference with the figures and whatnot. So if people are concerned about that.
I mean, the feeding frenzy celebration in Europe, and I can tell you firsthand, it was mental. Even of those that, for us, the press that managed to get into the hall early, standing there waiting to try and get Boba Fett,
Right.
It was a scrum. So, and then when the public came in, it was just bedlam. And I thought these things are going to be gone in an hour, just gone. And
Right.
they had pallets of them, like pallets upon pallets of these things.
Right.
So. It doesn't surprise me they actually had large quantities. And the same for San Diego Comic-Con, huge event, which they didn't sell out, I believe. They still had quantities left. So,
Right, because those, the overflow, that was the stuff that hit the Hasbro Toy Shop. So
exactly. So I think it's like, you remember that we actually shared it on here on the Realm Recap. We were talking about the Five Below and the Ralph McQuarrie figures that came out at one point, and the glut that arrived from StarWarsShop.com and the events. I think they make a lot more of these things than we think they do.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't know. It was a good deal. It was a very good deal.
Yeah, it was $79.99, I believe, was the pre-order price through Big Bad Toy Store, and obviously that plus shipping is about half of what they were going for on eBay. Just kind of another aside here, Jedi Temple Archives had posted that another seller based in like Singapore, I believe, they were selling these as well for $59.90. It was this website called Robot Kingdom. Obviously, that doesn't include shipping from there. It was basically to ship to the U.S. anywhere from $20 to $30. So it's obviously a comparable price to what Big Bad Toy Store was offering, but again, coming from Hong Kong, I would bet these are the the Japanese
sure
labeled figures. So that also kind of bolsters my theory that I think that's where Big Bad Toy Store was getting their stock as well. So again, we don't know. They emailed me and they said they would update their product page for that pre-order.
Since they're gone now.
Since they're gone now. But they did say that it would update their product page with details if it was in fact the Japanese version. So
it'd be interesting to see, because we compared the retail release, I did anyway, the retail release with the Celebration Europe / SDCC version, and apart from a little bit of weathering, there's not much difference between the two, and of course there's Han and Carbonite. But it'd be interesting to see if this was a slightly different version, if there was any production changes. Right. So it's getting very anal on it, I guess, but it'd still be good.
Typically, with anything that has separate production runs, you'll get a slight
variation,
batch variant type of,
for sure.
Especially if there's weathering involved. That's always a little. There's always a little bit of variation there as far as how it's applied, depending on how long it's under the particular paint app that it's being subjected to. Let's see. Moving on from that.
Interesting article you shared, actually. Let me just share it on screen.
This wasn't something I posted on Yakface.com proper, but I did share it on our Facebook page. It's not really Hasbro related, but it is. DC Collectibles has put up a poll. I'm not sure if it's still currently running, but they were essentially asking their collector, customers what type of articulation they prefer. And I thought that was kind of interesting, that that DC Collectibles would do something like that. I think this is more geared towards like this, their 6-inch type of figures, and not their
definitely
not their smaller 4-inch line.
Well, I vowed never to buy DC collectibles again. Recently, I just did a review a while back of some of them, and the joints in them are atrociously bad. They use
Mm,
clear, brittle plastic in some of the leg joints.
right.
Um, so, meh to DC collectibles. You've ruined some of the Batman figures personally, but
Hmm.
it's still a nice option to do. I don't know whether we'd ever see Hasbro doing this, but
Right. And I just, I didn't really suspect they would do something like that either, but I thought it was kind of an interesting,
oh, it is
you
very
know,
interesting. Yeah.
kind of a feeler out there for people that collect their lines. It's, they basically they give in the poll three options, kind of like a rudimentary articulated figure, probably like 8 points, and then there's like a 10 to 12, and then maybe a 16-point option.
Yep.
And obviously, we all know that in this day and age of collecting, the more articulation points, the higher the cost of the figure.
Of
So
course.
there's kind of a delicate balance there. Obviously, people want the most articulated figure that they could get for their money. So,
Mm. Yeah, it's an interesting option in weighing up, but I think the market, as we've discussed both here and on other podcasts, it's changed so much now to the point that, with Hot Toys and even the one,
right.
the Indiana Jones Mayfix you shared not that long ago,
Hmm.
there's a whole bunch of collectors who want better figures, but there's also
Right.
those who want more of the cheaper, lower. So it's rather than being the middle, it's kind of gone to two polar extremes. So
Right.
I think there's a bit for option A and option C. B is just a little bit. Why would you bother going half-arsed if you're going to go the full Buna? Do
Right.
it and
Yeah.
charge it a little bit more, make it a premium-ish line, and
Hmm.
don't know.
So,
Interesting, really nice way to connect with fans and ask for their opinion. That's very,
right. Kind of
very refreshing.
yeah, we've kind of gotten away from that. I think with Hasbro in the past few years, they did a lot of, at least I would consider fan or collector interaction when they did the
Yep.
the Q and A's and all that. It's kind of missed that, but
Yeah, it's true.
again, Hasbro's kind of a different egg these days. So
Yeah, no, no, it's a shame.
that kind of wraps up Hasbro's goodies this week. Gentle Giant put up a couple pre-orders. They announced the Jumbo Kenner Biker Scout, which is a great figure.
Oh,
That was one of
awesome
my
figure.
favorite figures as a kid. Um, so
I think I've bemoaned this. I think in the Realm Recap or other podcasts, can't remember, but for some reason, Gentle Giant never show the card art these days. Yes, we love the figure, which is
right,
awesome, but they just seem to skip off the. And it's not as if they don't have it because it's a reproduction of the old
right,
card art.
you know,
It bugs me. You realize, like, show the card art. That's the sell point. It's not just the figure, but
yeah,
there we go. Another one you mentioned there was the Endor Trooper, which
right. That was
wow,
the mini
it's a giant.
bust. Yep.
Does that do anything for you? Because that does the
Not
least amount. No, I
not for
just don't
me.
know why they would do that.
It's just not
Um,
that iconic of a figure. Um, I don't know that if does that mean they're kind of running out of options? I don't know. They're kind of both of these releases are Return of the Jedi based. Um,
yeah, that's true. Maybe they wanted to do something in tandem. I don't know, but
I think there are better characters to pick if they're trying to go with a Return of the Jedi theme.
well, if you remember the whole Sideshow stuff for a while, they released quite a few Endor officers, and
Right.
they just didn't sell. In fact, I still think they're up in Sideshow. You can buy them, and it just seems like the Endor Troopers are really very niche thing to do.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a big. I could see that as being more of an exclusive item
Yeah,
that
me,
would have a
yeah,
lower production run than a general release item.
I agree. But oh well,
Well, we'll
it is
see.
what it is.
Yep. Sideshow. I know this attracted both of us.
Yeah. Let me go to.
Sideshow previewed a new 1/6 scale, 12-inch clone trooper, and it is a member of the Wolfpack.
Very nice.
Part
Using a bit
of.
of the Commander Wolf and
Yep.
well, 104th Battalion. I don't even know that battalion, but nice little touch with the Wolfpack logo, the colours.
Hmm.
Using the old Jango Fett / Captain Rex backpack,
Jetpack. Yep.
jetpack. Yeah. It's
Yep.
nice.
So basically, this is obviously a member, that's going to display really, really well alongside the Cap or the Commander Wolf that had come out last year. I'm looking forward to getting this figure. I do have the Commander Wolf. It was one of my favorite designs from the Clone Wars series, and I think I'll be going for this one.
Cool.
And judging by the deco, I mean, they're all very similar. The clone troopers from the Wolfpack. Going through some of the character images that I've seen and doing a little hunting and pecking through the actual episodes of the Clone Wars, I think this is Sinker is the
name of the
actual clone. It's not labeled that way from Sideshow specifically, but I think that's what this deco translates to. So
very cool. Next again was you from Star Wars Hockey. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. Right.
Yeah, Bauer. They're manufacturers of hockey equipment, ice hockey equipment. They had a press release earlier this week, and they basically are offering up 5 different styles of goalie hockey helmets or masks, and they each have a different bit of Star Wars character art printed on them, and the art ironically recycles some old Unleashed packaging art from Hasbro.
Oh wow!
I know I've seen this art turn up from time and time again on different products. I think most recently, one of my local Target stores, if you go to like the dollar bin, you can get like notepads and little post-it note things. And some of that art from the card back, I think there's a Stormtrooper and maybe a Vader that they're recycling, and it's using that original Unleashed artwork. If you remember that, those were like the 6-inch kind of statuesque figures that Hasbro had released.
No, my brain's going dry. I don't remember them at all. Just trying to click through to a larger image if we can share a little bit more. They look. I mean, hockey's obviously a big thing in the US and Canada, I think, more than anywhere else. But how often do you see customized helmets? Really?
It's kind of surprising. I mean, watching ice hockey here, just recently, you'll see, basically the hockey helmets, they have the team logos on it, but they also have additional graphics on there. Basically, it must have been, picked by the actual player. I think a year or 2 ago, one of the college hockey teams here in Minnesota, he had a Yoda. Was it here in Minnesota? Anyway, he had Yoda on the side of his helmet, and Lucasfilm had made them change it because of the colors that they had used. So
wow. Oh, I see what you mean. It's the Unleashed figures. Is that what you were talking about? Right. Okay, my bad.
So I think this was a Monday. Yeah, this was a Monday that this announcement came out, and right up the street from where I work, there's a hockey retailer, and so I went up there on my lunch break, and sure enough, they had a display out, and I believe there's a picture in there from the gallery that you're sharing. They had 4 of the 5 helmets on display. There was the Luke, the Shock Trooper, the Vader, and the Yoda. They didn't have the Boba Fett one, but
surprise.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that was gorgeous artwork.
Yep.
I loved that. That was a great figure way back in the day as well, when there really wasn't a lot of stuff out for Star Wars.
Right.
You could go for premium money. It's funny that artwork's been done so many times on cups, on mugs, on calendars, or as you said, notebooks and everything else. It's stood the test of time, that's for sure.
Right. It was really
got the money out of that.
Art.
So this was you going up to this local store, just getting the pictures. Nice.
Yep. So the prices for those range from like $229 for the youth size. They're a little bit smaller than the adult and your size. The junior and adult size, they're $20 more at $249.99 a piece. So
It's a Star Wars world where you can wear your hockey mask, have
right,
your underoos, your T-shirts on. Wow, there's
yep,
just nothing that
it's all over.
licensing can't reach. But there we
Yep.
go. Very good, very good.
So a little bit of Lego news this week that you had posted, I saw.
Yes. Let me see if we can find that there. Yeah, it's not a great picture, but the guys at Hothbricks always ones to just find stuff. Love these guys. In France, they managed to dig out 1,000,001 things that
Right.
no one else in the world finds first. So I've spoken to them a few times on Twitter, and what I can understand, and their English and my terrible French is they just rocket finding this stuff. They really do. They've got guys everywhere doing it. But they released a snapshot of a poster, which comes with one of the sets. Just waiting for this to open because it's a fairly large page. Come on. But it's a poster of all the minifigs, basically, for the year. Let me see if we can share that. If I
So
can do this
this
properly.
poster has some of the new figures we talked about last week, I think, like the
Does
Naboo
indeed.
set.
So here's this was some other posters that turned up,
Hmm.
which was general stuff. So there's some other Star Wars posters out there if you're into that kind of thing. As you can see, there's one for the AT-AT there as well, just showing the new sets. They look like old sets, but they are in fact new sets. We've seen these sets so many times, the Snowspeeder and the and my machine has decided to freeze on me. Good old Windows.
So
Joy.
are these posters available in the actual sets, or are these how
They're
are you?
currently available in stores, I believe, but they will be available with some sets. Let me see if I can get control of my machine back. It's just decided to go
It just looked like some of the posters were folded up, kind of similar to how, maybe the size of the booklet that, the instruction booklet that they.
Yes, it does. It does. But there's another poster there, which again, at the moment I can't share. We'll come back and show it. It'll definitely be in the show notes, but
Right.
it's a poster of all those minifigures, which allows you to see some of the ones we talked about, which was the Naboo Guard and others. So, yeah, we'll put that in the links. Yeah, I think you're going to have to. Yeah, for some reason that download has decided to lock me up. Never mind.
All right. We'll move on to
Carry
the
on.
next item then. Star Wars Weekends kicked off yesterday, and they had solicited that some of the exclusive merchandise, as far as apparel, some Star Wars Rebels merchandise, was going to go up on the Disney Store website here, at least in the U.S. I didn't check in other areas. I would assume it's only here. So there are a couple different Rebel shirts to choose from: long sleeve men's shirt, long sleeve or a short sleeve men's shirt, and then a woman's T-shirt as well.
That's right. I think
And they're available for a limited time, starting yesterday. Yesterday or today? Today. Nope, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was Star Wars weekend, so
Yep, yesterday, and those are available for purchase until May 22nd. So a short window there if you want to pick up a Star Wars Rebels T-shirt. I know when Celebration Europe came around, they had similar shirts, not these exact same shirts. Excuse me. They had those available for sale here in the U.S. I think through the Reed Pop.
The Reed store, that's right. Yeah.
Right, and I had missed that opportunity, so I ended up paying way too much for a Star Wars Rebel shirt on eBay.
I didn't even wear mine. It's terrible.
Yeah. So I like these. I mean, these are. I think the Celebration Europe one was kind of a grayish brown color, and these are black brown, or excuse me, black gray.
Much nicer.
Much nicer, and these are different as well. As on the back, kind of up by where the tag would be sewn, there's a little. I believe there's a Mickey logo.
Oh, okay. How do you notice these things?
I think it's on the. If you were to go to the long sleeve shirt page and click on one of the additional images that they show for the shirt.
It's
You know,
maybe got it in there. Okay. Oh,
let's see
sadly
if
it was
it's-
the wrong shirt. Let's go back. We'll have a look at that other one. I like that one actually. The long sleeve shirt. That's quite nice. It's probably the nicest of the bunch. Let's have a look. $40 though. Ooh, that's a little pricey. Is it maybe a look?
I can't remember which. It was on one of the shirts. I saw one of the Zoom photos. It showed the back, and it had a little Mickey logo with I can't remember if it was the what was the logo incorporated in. If it was the Rebel Alliance logo, or if it was the kind of the bird logo incorporated into it.
That looks kind of. I mean, either that see-through material as a print on the side of that shirt. I don't know. It seems a bit. It's kind of distressed looking or something.
Right, for the women's, I think it's kind of a.
That's really distressed. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a sheer type of shirt.
Okay. Not for men then.
Right.
No, don't wear this, guys.
So.
Oh well, cool. Still cool T-shirts, and God, Disney are really the whole Star Wars thing that they're really ringing their 4 billion purchase out now, aren't they? They're kind of let's get licensed and everything now.
Yeah, I did find it. It's on the adult T-shirt. If you were to go to that page, we're spent a lot of time on this.
We're completists.
Being as thorough as possible.
This is on the adult T-shirt.
Adult T-shirt.
To that, and we'll just show that back again. Okay. So as you hovered over,
if you scroll below, are there three? There's like a T-shirt shot, a logo shot.
There you go. You were right worth the wait. There we go. So
there we
where
go.
is that? That's on the back.
That's right. I assume that's on the back, right? You know, at the neckline kind of deal.
That's quite a cool looking Mickey logo.
Right.
It's almost like eyes there. That's really smart, actually.
Yeah. So that helps to differentiate it maybe from some of the other shirts that have been released before and set it apart, saying that this was only available.
Yeah.
Disney. So.
You could almost wear that on the front of a T-shirt entirely, or even one that has the Imperial cog in there as well in that shape. It's very nice. Well worth the find.
Sure.
Well done, sir. Well done.
A couple more things that you had shared from our friend Ryan Spencer, who has done some of the graphics for the Mini Wars characters that he had done, which are completely awesome.
They are. I just bought a T-shirt from him. I'll just share one in a minute.
Really?
But this was, I should actually put that in the notes there. But this was Ryan again, aka Blue Ghost, or Blue Boy Comics even as well. But Threepios, if you know the old story of
the old serial,
Star Wars serial, there we go. There's Threepio there. He's just done it in such a nice style. I love his
awesome.
Super deformed style that he does. Yep. But it was on, let me see if I can find it on Twitter. It was, or if I've got it in the show notes there. There was, no, I don't have it there. He'd done now two of my favorite brands are certainly Star Wars and Starbucks. And he mashed up a really nice design. I'll just share this on the screen over here as we go to my page. Let me have a look. Hopefully you guys have seen that. Ryan, where are you? There we go. And what he's done is he's mashed up the two together. So he's done a nice job. Hopefully this will open up here on this page. Come on. And there we go. Finally comes through. So he's done this nice little logo there.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's cool.
It's very slow to open here for some reason. Come on, machine. The joys of Windows. But he's put this Buck Wars, as he's called it, logo, and you can have that on pretty much just about anything. I've bought a white V-neck hoodie, but you can get it on just about anything you want. Sorry, not a hoodie, sorry, a t-shirt. But yeah, just about everything you want to choose. That's the joy of Redbubble, so you can get out mugs and whatever. You just choose your items down there. But really, really nice. Love that logo. And it's a shame he's not got Buck Wars around there in the font, but still cool. So yes, Ryan, love your gear.
Design. Let's see. And then you had posted that Dorkside Toys has put up some offerings for.
They have indeed. Let's have a little flick over to that if we can get back to that page. Yes, they'd. Well, we talked about Jabba. It's available. I've had so many people contact us because I put up a video and reviewed the images, the Jabba and Yoda, and people keep saying, "Oh my God, we could get this. How am I going to pay for this at San Diego Comic Con?" And I'm like, "Look, buy one for $40. Worry about the DS later, quite frankly, because again, both the Speeder Bike and the Jabba are up there at Dorkside Toys. But again, that Speeder Bike, I can guarantee, and you know it as well as I do, as most people probably do who watch this podcast, that Speeder Bike and the Biker Scout are going to be the Black Widow, the Boba Fett, the Stormtrooper of this wave. Why you don't buy one right now, I do not know. So I've bought two. I need two without a doubt. But the fact it comes on this bike is just—it's going to be such a huge hit. I know it is. So yeah, I just know this thing's going to go crazy in price, and people keep waiting, I think, for retail as if it's going to save them. But I don't know. Retail sucks for me. I'm sure it kind of sucks for you too. But I would.
Even if you think how well the 3 3/4 inch Biker Scout with the speeder bike did. I think this is going to be as popular, if not more.
I mean, I am probably one of the I know a lot of people like to do the hunt and stuff, but again, when you have to live in places where you just don't really get a lot of stuff at retail, you just become pre-order obsessed. So yeah, that was me.
And when you could get it, when you could pre-order it for,
easy
MSRP, you're not having to worry about a ton of, markup or,
I agree. Well, the thing is, in Australia, again, I've bemoaned this, so again, apologies for people listening to me going on and on again, but the Black Series figures on their own are $40 to $50 here in stores. That's at retail, so why would I pay that? It just seems nuts. I'll get it for half the price. So Jabba and Biker Scout, if they make it here, and that's the key point, if they make it here, guaranteed at retail will be about $80 each. So if you think $40 is a lot of money, it sure as hell ain't. But look, we know already, we discussed last week, $250 for Jabba with the DS for SDCC versions of them. Yeah, the DS and Salacious just ain't worth, what does that work out to be, $210? To me, it's like, it's nuts when you think about it. So I'm just buying it. Then we'll worry about the DS later. We'll make a cardboard one or something. One of your creative people on your forums will come up with some ideas.
Get scale up the one that came with the 3 3/4 inch one. Find someone to.
That's it.
Scale up the mold for that, or we'll see. The final bit of I would say collecting news this week is. Justin from our site had posted kind of a wish list based on now that EU has been kind of brushed to the wayside, and we're not going to get a whole lot more figures covering that time frame. Justin had posted what are figures you would have liked to see in the Star Wars 3 3/4 and even the 6-inch line that probably won't get done now.
Interesting.
I have so many that I can think of. It's hard to pick any one, but.
Well, it was interesting. I listened to Star Wars Action News this week, and Marjorie and Arnie. Again, great show as usual. But Arnie was kind of premonitioning, saying that. All the EU figures, chances are you're just not going to see them again in a hurry. He was believing that they may well go up in value and price.
And I don't disagree with that either.
No, neither do I. But I must admit, personally, I've never been a big EU fan. I always found some of the EU, not all of it, but some of it just like Jackson and the kind of really bizarre stuff, just
Hmm.
not my cup of tea. And a little bit more, I like the things we see on the screen. I think they're much more finished and
Right.
polished. But there has been some great characters. So yeah, don't know which ones are you kind of lamenting that you may not see? Are you a
Um,
real? What's your strongest EU
I
character?
I think me, like a lot of people, were a huge fan of Shadows of the Empire
Yep.
when
Oh
that
yeah, I love that.
launched, and I would have loved to. Um, I always wanted a Joris Saboth figure that they, for some, the old, crazy wizard kind of guy with the. It's just such a striking figure when that book came out. Kind of the '70s, you know,
The Dark Times.
medallion around the neck. He
I
was just kind
know
of a.
that's true. He didn't. He was kind of disco
Yeah.
Jedi.
I just always wanted that figure for some reason. I think that's my main one. Um, there are a ton of others.
I know. I know. I must admit, Shadows of the Empire was very strong, but again, that's what I liked. That it was finished, it was polished, did a soundtrack, did a book,
Right.
did toy. It was really there was a lot of effort put into it. There's some great stuff from the comics, but video games I think were probably the strongest for me. And Kyle
Hmm.
Katarn was certainly a big one. But we've had good figures of these guys, so I feel in
Right.
some ways it's kind of time to. I'm quite glad we can put things away in a box. Let's
Hmm.
forget about it for a while and let's start afresh. It'd be nice to see it, so I'm not too
Right.
fussed. Yeah, you'll probably get
So,
some posts on eBay saying these things are, rare EU,
right.
something like that. But
So that kind of wraps up the collecting news this week. Kind of moving on to the TV, movie, and book news. Initially this week, things kind of started off. I think it was officially reported, but it wasn't really a surprise. At least it wasn't to me that Dennis Lawson, who played Wedge in the Star
yep,
Wars films, says he doesn't want to come back for Episode 7, even though he was asked. Um, he's
I,
said that they're boring to him. Okay.
I, I can't imagine the paycheck would be boring.
Right.
I really don't imagine that would be boring at all. But
You
look,
could see his point too. It's like, are you? I gave the opinion that I don't want him to just bring back figure characters for the sake of doing it. I want it to be, meaningful. Don't just slap, the, you know, Bren Derlin. Don't bring back Cliff Clavin from Cheers just to get a cameo and an action figure out of it. I mean, make it worth doing. Either kill him or make him someone special, but don't just do it just to say, "Oh, look,
it's Cliff.
there's Wedge." So either mention him
No.
in passing or just forget about him altogether. So it wasn't a big. My heart wasn't broken when he said he didn't want to come back. So
I think it's Mark Hamill made a nice comment just in between us doing this show. I just saw it this morning, which was he would have been one of the most hated people out there if he hadn't taken the opportunity to be in Episode 7. And
right,
well, I'm sure from his point of view, he gets to relive his. He gets to be a really top A class actor all over again, and that's got to be something that's appealing to those guys. But
hmm
yeah, you probably would get a bit of a rap for being a grump. I mean, I think we all thought Harrison Ford, no way he'll
right,
do it again. He was being such a grumpy old fart about it for years.
right.
But he's back. So
Paycheck's big
methinks the
enough.
money. Yes, I was going to say the paycheck was obviously healthy enough. So cool.
Let's see what else. Again, regarding Episode 7, filming has officially begun. It started this week. Bad Robot, which is J.J. Abrams' production company, posted an image on I think it was Instagram and Twitter of the official
Clapperboard.
clapboard showing that. Yep.
Episode
Star
7
Wars
has the clap.
Episode 7.
Exactly. Nothing else you can tell from it there, really. That's it.
Right.
So,
Still, it makes it just feel all that more real. Just like how the cast photos was released, and then you get something like this, and then the next bit, we'll talk about the Pinewood Studios had placed a nice big placard on the side of one of their buildings showing that Episode 7, or at least it just has the Roman numeral 7 now filming, it says on the side, so that's obviously a Star Wars tidbit.
I think for one personally, I hope they keep things like this to the absolute minimum, because I'd rather know nothing than have continual. I mean, we've already seen the leaks from Abu Dhabi with the, we think it's the AT-AT and so forth. I want to go into this cinema and know nothing, but it's just going to be impossible. We're going to be screwed, basically. Yeah. We're just going to see everything.
In this day and age, it'll be
really hard.
It'll be tough. You think, you're spoiled when, Game of Thrones stuff leaks out on Facebook or Twitter. I mean, imagine when, characters are revealed and their plot lines are splashed all over your favorite social media. You'll have to quit. People will have to quit altogether in order to stay free if that's their goal.
It's so true.
And then the final thing you posted was a very cute commercial that had been produced for Star Wars Weekends.
Was that what he actually produced it for? I thought it was just for his portfolio, it said. Oh,
no,
okay.
I thought that it was. Does it end with a Star Wars Weekends?
We will have a look and we'll just confirm that. But it's certainly, it may well be. Big Red Bull was this short movie created by Bruce Brannett, a visual effects artist who's worked on Lost and Breaking Bad. Yes, he is the guy who has done the Gustav Fring, the half zombie.
Oh yeah.
You'll know what I mean. Yep. So amazing looking stuff. So here's the little video he's put together here. The idea of this is obviously it's he's been very nice. He's been putting a little bow on everything. Let me just turn the sound down a little.
It's kind of reminiscent of those, jewelry commercials that roll around, during the holidays where, or the car commercials where, the husband or wife buys their husband or wife, their significant other buys them a car for whatever.
So you get some terrible boxer shorts. 138 is the name of the house, the apartment.
Yep.
And he gets his Falcon. Nice. Oh, it is Star Wars Weekends, you're right.
Yeah. That takes off. That's pretty cool.
Sorry about that incredibly loud audio there if you heard that. But what an amazing piece it's done. That's an ad. That's just fantastic. Yep. So some really nice touches. I love the "I love you, I know" kind of touch as well. Beautiful. And there's a couple of people said to me, "She's marrying material." Yeah,
right, exactly.
So yeah, very, very good.
And that kind of wraps up the movie and all that good stuff. Actually, there's one more bit of book news that I didn't list in the show notes here, but the Star Wars storyboards came out this week. I'll mention it again here in the new acquisitions, but I picked that up. It's
as good as
a surprisingly large book. I didn't think it would. It's a standard, but I mean, it's a thick book of. It goes through the whole original trilogy, and there's about 350 pages. I thought it was going to be, half that, if anything, but no, it's a very cool. If you're into art, if you're into concept type of stuff, and kind of previs type of drawings, this is a very cool piece to get for your collection.
So what films does that cover?
It just covers 4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. Excellent.
And they're going to do a prequels one, apparently.
I like the tone there. There was a little bit of like, not so interested.
Apparently. But it's just full of art we talk all the time about art we've never seen before. This is full of it.
Yeah.
And especially stuff for like A New Hope, where there's some, I would say, gory illustrations done of stormtroopers getting killed or rebels getting their arms torn off by Vader. It's just where you see pools of blood and half of faces getting blown off. It's like, man, Star Wars could have been really really graphic. But then it goes through. It's got art from the greats. It's got Joe Johnston stuff. It's got obviously Ralph McQuarrie. It's just full of great concept and storyboard type illustrations. So I picked this up from my local Barnes & Noble. Retail on it is about $40. You could get it for cheaper than that if you go through Amazon, I believe.
Yep.
Depending on what kind of memberships you have or deals you could find, but
I will definitely be picking that one up. That's for sure. It's
I grabbed that. Let's see, what else did I grab? I got the Disney Han Solo this week. It's right here.
Nice.
So I'll be doing some photographing of that tomorrow probably, and I'll post a video as well showcasing electronics because I think people really like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And this one is comparable to the Stormtrooper as far as quality. I'll say right now that I don't like the Han as much as the Stormtrooper.
Slightly plasticky pink.
It's very plasticky. Where the glossiness benefited the Stormtrooper, it is a detractor for the Han. It looks like either Han's been in a sweatshop or he's just got done running a marathon. He just looks like a wet figure.
Lovely.
Which is not that appealing to me, but
so essentially we have a bad feeling about this figure.
We have a bad feeling about this figure. Okay. I'm guessing of the 4 that are coming out, Luke comes out on Monday, I believe, and then Vader comes out the following. I think Han will be the loser of the bunch. So.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Luke would be the one to.
Well, okay. See. We'll wait till I get the actual product in hand for the other 2, but so far I'm leaning towards Han being the bad one. At least not as good. So. And then I also received the battle droids from Sideshow Collectibles, the security battle droids. It was a 2-pack.
Was that's not the not Geonosian ones?
Nope, they're from the Phantom Menace. The red highlighted ones.
Nice.
So I think that just leaves them to do the pilot one. They haven't done the pilot version yet. They've done the standard battle droids as a 2-pack. They did the OOM9 as a single release, and then they did the the battle droid on the Stap.
Oh yeah, that's right. So they did. My God, they've done a lot of them.
Yeah.
Wow. It was a good mold. It's a very good figure.
Yeah,
I bought a couple, and they're incredibly movable and flexible.
They're nice.
And they're well made. So I don't blame them for re-releasing the different versions. But
yep. So I think that just leaves the pilot one left to do. I think from the Phantom Menace anyway. I mean, there are countless other deco variants if you get into the Clone Wars and.
Sure.
Have they done red? Oh, that's I think those are another set that's coming. Are the red ones?
That's the Geonosis. I'm lost now, really.
I'll have to look through my pre-orders. See if I have it in there.
I had to do that this week, and it's expensive, Sideshow, when you add it all up and what's coming. But
yep.
Right. Is that you purchase-wise?
That was it for me.
That was a good haul. The Star Wars storybook. I'm definitely going to get that. That looks really good as well.
I recommend it highly.
Well, I got this week in the mail. Finally managed to get hold of a Darth Revan, a little mini figure.
Oh, nice.
So I picked one up for you, as we discussed.
Cool. Thank you.
And nice little minifigure. Frankly, a little. It's just a little Revan, really, frankly. So it's not bad. I'm really glad I could just buy it loose and not loose, but without having to spend all the money in Lego because I already had it all. So a bit of a weird promo they did, but
yeah, I think they go for if you want them on its own without having to, you can only get them that May the 4th day. They didn't last beyond that. I think you could pick them up for about $25 on eBay is what I've seen and heard. So If you really
which
need it.
is, if you really need it, it's 20. I mean, it's ridiculous when you think about it. A minifigure for $25, but people have paid more, and they continue to pay about about 45.50 for the white Boba Fett polybag.
Right.
So yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
It's expensive for what it is. It's not even that great a minifigure. Some other stuff I picked up non-Star Wars this week was I finally got a full set of the Simpsons minifigures.
Oh.
They're cool. They're
I love
very,
them.
very cool. So someone beat me to it. I was desperate to do some Star Wars mashups with them.
I shared that on.
I know we should have shared that. We'll do it the next
great.
week. But they're really good.
Perfect mashup. I love that.
It was. He just picked all the right characters. So beautifully done. Really was well done. Yep. So I love them. Just they're amazing for minifigures. Definitely recommend them. And the other one, which I spent far too much money on, was Ed 209 from RoboCop, the Hot Toys version. This thing is friggin' huge. So
have you had a chance to play with it? As far as
no, I literally looked at it in the package and went, "Oh wow, I need like an hour just to get this out the box and get all the bits on it." And, it's big. Big. So
that's a nice pickup.
Expensive pickup.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it for Collectibles.
That's it for me. So with that, we'll say thank you for everyone who is watching and tuned in and commented on our past shows. We'd like to thank our friends at Jedi Temple Archives and Jedi Defender, Dorkside Toys for passing on our show when we post those each week. So with that, I think that's it.
Cool.
We will see everyone next week. And best of luck to you and your toy finds.
Exactly. Happy hunting.